Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. 3 and out, 8 divisions in 8 days. Let's go. On the training camp turf, the baddest collision on the face of the earth. 32 teams coming hungrier than ever. We smash through the grind and we pull together. Turn up the volume, let the speakers explode. IA Sports Radio, the king of the road. The season premiere is breaking the mold. The summer can hold. NFC week is locked at the door. Now we're crossing the line for the AFC war. 3 and out, the battle lines are drawn. 8 divisions strong, the war is going on. Lock it in today, we're clearing out the way. 8 divisions deep, 8 divisions in 8 days. 3 and out. North to the wild, wild west, east coast to south, putting teams to the test. Stick it to them now, let the trash talk fly. Look them in the eyes under the summer sky. The gridiron is calling, the tape doesn't lie. We're drawing the line where the giants divide. 4 shows for the NFC, 4 for the AFC. Breaking down every single team on the map, you'll see. Hear the battle cry call. Direct feed for all that is football. 3 and out, the battle lines are drawn. 8 divisions strong, the war is going on. Lock it in today, we're clearing out the way. 8 divisions deep, 8 divisions in 8 days. 3 and out.
Good afternoon, football fans, and welcome to 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days. Show number 3 of 8, that is. We are taking ourselves a nice trip up north to the coldest division in the NFL, the NFC North. Today was originally supposed to be the NFC South. For reasons unknown, we can't seem to find a freaking Saints or a Buccaneers fan, but so I'm going to keep on trying to do that for tomorrow's show. But switcheroo, it happens. We're going to do ourselves the switch today and switch it on over to a show where I did have all the videos. And 3 of them are our own. One of them's a newcomer. Super excited for today's show, man, because, again, the most freezing cold division in the entire NFL, a place I would like to go, of course, nice and cold, even though my wife would beg to differ. But I'll tell you right now, man, it's going to be a lot of fun. Today, we got ourselves one hell of a show planned out for you guys. As per usual, man, we got through 2 divisions now. We are 8 teams down, 24 to go. And by the end of today, we will be down to just 20 teams left. One more show, and that's that, guys. We have our official NFC South show tomorrow. We have the premiere of 3 and Out on Saturday mornings coming up this Saturday morning, 7 a.m. Pacific time, 10 a.m. Eastern. That's going to be our traditional 3 and Out show. And then we're going to continue on with AFC week starting on Sunday morning with the AFC West, Monday with the AFC East, Tuesday with the AFC North, and good old Wednesday, the day before I go back to work full time, is going to be the AFC North. So really excited for that, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in again, man. Really excited, really happy for another year of 8 divisions in 8 days. And as stressful as it always is trying to gather all of you diehard fans out there to be a part of the show, it's always worth it. So definitely got to say, I appreciate you all. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this, for being in the chat room, for tuning in the last couple of days here on IE Sports Radio. And well, we're just going to continue that on today. So appreciate you guys so very much. Let's do this, man. Locked and loaded. NFC North is here. And again, welcome to our massive 8 divisions in 8 days here. 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days. Our special series we always do to kick off 3 and Out every single year. So we rolled through the NFC West on Monday, handled the NFC East yesterday, and today we are locking in on an absolute heavyweight gauntlet in the Midwest, the NFC North. Again, the most coldest division in the entire NFL. What makes this division just, I don't know what you want to call it, must-watch TV? I mean, this division is fun, man. What makes this thing a blockbuster, okay? Must-watch television, appointment TV, whatever you feel like calling this, okay? This is the sheer concentration of high-end quarterback talent, shifting power dynamics, and brutal play in the trenches, man. So you have a defending champion in Chicago, which blew me away, okay? Which, hey, congratulations. I'm going to take them a little more serious now. So you have the defending champion in Chicago looking to prove last year's late season surge wasn't a fluke. Detroit reshaping their offensive line to unleash a historic backfield workflow, which they have the backfield. You know they do. But can the offensive line deliver? Green Bay navigating massive pass rush adjustments while chasing the crown, and Minnesota. And then there was the Minnesota Vikings dealing with a fascinating quarterback room puzzle under Kevin O'Connell. So it's a division of fine margins, incredibly fierce rivalries, massive training camp storylines, and just, yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun today. So really excited for this one, man. Appreciate you guys. I already see you jumping in the chat. Appreciate you guys being here today. Let's do it, man. Jumping on in to our first team, the Detroit Lions. So let's go ahead and change up that color. One of my favorite parts of the show, changing up our overall color to fit those Detroit Lions and getting our little thing on here. Boom, there it is. All right, y'all. We're officially in Detroit Lions mode, starting things off in the Motor City. Let's do it, man. So this, I don't even know how to begin this. The big storyline here is basically all about answering trench questions, right? And leaning heavily into their explosive playmakers. Detroit had to completely retool an offensive line that went from asset to liability last year. I mean, I don't think there's any other like better way to say it, right? Penei Sewell is now a left tackle, and they're working rookie Blake Miller into the mix somewhere in there, right? Meanwhile, Dave Montgomery, moving on. This is officially the Jahmyr Gibbs bell cow era. All right. With the dynamic dual threat back primed for a awesome, massive workload of just, I don't know, offense, right? And we have offensive player of the year conversation. If this offensive line can do what's needed, that backfield is going to be hell. That backfield will be strong. Okay. So defensively, the major question mark is health. And realistically, at least how I would say it, it's in the secondary, okay, more than any place. The front eight, solid ish. Secondary, though, that's where the issues start. Okay. And, tracking the recovery timelines of obviously Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph. So, we have some deals like that happening right in Detroit, and that's really the main question mark right now. So, hey, what's going on, Glenn Ritter up in here, man? Let's do it. Yeah, skull. Don't you love seeing the word skull in Lions or Honolulu Blue? And there's Big Dom. He's going to be joining us in just a few seconds via video that he recorded already. So he's excited, man. Lions preview is dialed up. Let's do this, you guys. We're about to hear from Big Dom. He is, well, how about this? Big Dom from silverandblues.com talking about his Detroit Lions, giving us his Detroit Lions season preview. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Big Dom, take it away.
Hello to everyone on the 3 and Out on IE Sports Family. I'm Big Dom from silverandblues.com. And let's take a moment and dig in on the Lions from the end of the 2025 season and take that all the way to the 2026 season. At the end of last year, the Lions really left me with a stark impression. First and foremost, I was disappointed in how things went, obviously. But two words really sum it up, and that's injuries and inconsistency. Now, every team deals with injuries, but the Lions seem like they've dealt with them more over the last few years. Maybe that's a luck thing. Maybe it's a training thing. I guess only time will tell on that. The inconsistency is what's really maddening. Let's take two games. At the beginning of the year, you've got the Lions playing the Baltimore Ravens, who they've struggled against in the past, and they whooped them. They, well, maybe not whooped them, but they did quite a good job. Contrast that with the Vikings on Christmas against Max Brosmer at quarterback. They looked washed up. 2025 ended on a low note, even though it was a winning record for the Lions. That does shift or show a shift in the expectations for the Lions now, though. Previously, a winning season might have been enough. It's not anymore. It's a good thing. As far as the offseason, it's pretty apparent the Lions knew that they needed to do something different in 26. So they doubled down on youth, signing a bunch of guys, younger players, and getting rid of a bunch of vets. And those younger players were signed largely, with the exception of Cade Mays with his 3-year, $50-ish million deal. They were all signed to like 1-year deals, $1.523 million. That's exactly what the Lions needed. They don't have a ton of cap space because they've paid a lot of their guys. And so it was really good to see Brad Holmes kind of hit it out of the park with these signings of like Chuck Clark, Roger McCreary, Isaiah Pacheco, Christian Izien, all for relatively inexpensive. So really like that. Adds a lot of really good depth. Losing Teran Arnold hurts, but statistically, Rock Ya-Sin was just about as good as Teran Arnold last year. And so I don't think it's that, I'm not going to say I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I don't think it's as big of a deal as some people are making out of it. My biggest concern and qualm with Brad Holmes right now is how Kirby Joseph has been handled. Kirby Joseph, I really feel like we should have had a better contingency plan for, because we still don't know if his knee is going to hold up. But I also understand that it's hard to get a player to come and sign that's a higher end safety and say, oh, you might not get to start this year. So kind of get it. Shifting to the draft, the Lions made me super happy this year with their draft picks. With Blake Miller out of Clemson in the first round, that's just a perfect pick. Slot him right in at right tackle, move Panay to left. He's got great athleticism, great production in college. He's got an Ironman streak going on where he is. He missed, I think, one practice in his entire collegiate career and no games. It's just crazy. Add in Derek Moore out of Michigan. Derek Moore will help immediately to bolster the pass rush alongside fellow Wolverine Aiden Hutchinson. And I think that those two players are really going to just immediately contribute and help the Lions to take a step. Heading into 2026, I expect the Lions will be improved. I'm a fan of the hiring of Drew Petzing. I mean, look what he did with Jacoby Brissett in Arizona. Geez. And I think that he'll bring stability back to the offense, which will allow it to thrive as we've seen it do many times over the last 2 to 3 years. The defense is still kind of a question mark, especially the defensive back room. However, with adding DJ Wanham, Derek Moore, and hopefully having Tyleik Williams take a step for year 2 and Ali McNeil return to form, you should be able to get more push on that line, which should ease things up a little bit on those defensive backs, which I think overall we're going to be okay on defense. I mean, we've seen the offense carry this team before too, if it had to. So if the defensive backs don't work out, I'm concerned it'll make it harder, but I think the Lions are really in a good spot. I expect them to clear 12 wins this year. Looking around the division, I see more questions than I did last year for sure. The Packers have a talented roster, but with questions around Josh Jacobs' legal issues, their new defensive scheme, what Micah Parsons is going to look like when he gets back, what Zach Tom's health looks like. There's a lot they're going to need to overcome to be that consistent winner. But I still think that they are a threat to the Lions, and they scare me the most of anyone in the NFC North. The Bears, I expect just to fall back to earth. I'm not saying they're going to be terrible, but they caught a lot of luck last year. And I don't think that's sustainable. I expect them to kind of regress to the mean. I think what Caleb Williams could do in that really good Ben Johnson offense is just learn to play basic quarterback better versus breaking out of the pocket every third play and heaving it downfield. If he continues to do that, he's going to start getting more turnovers. It's just the luck's not always going to fall their way. So I expect them to come back down to earth a little bit more. But that's in contrast to the Vikings, which I expect to fall off a cliff. I've never liked Kyler Murray. I don't think that he's going to do well in the Vikings system, even though they've got Kevin McConnell, who has made some quarterbacks who were not good, very good, i.e. Sam Darnold. I just don't think he's going to thrive. I don't see it. I think Murray is washed. The loss of Jonathan Grenard is going to hurt them, as well as Aaron Jones isn't getting any younger, and he started to show that last year. I mean, Brian Flores' defense is good. Don't get me wrong. Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison are a great tandem, but I just don't see it. And, I don't think Brian Flores' defense, which I think is the most consistent part of the team, can play both sides of the ball. So I expect them to fall right off a cliff. That all said, I thank you for your time, and thanks to the 3 and Out on IE Sports Radio family for having me, and let's go Lions.
What a job, man. Again, I always love doing this. My favorite part, yesterday I hit a funny button, but today I promised I fixed it. That was awesome, man. Big Tom, everybody. Totally great job there, man. Loved it. Look, the Lions were a team that I've been rooting for this damn team for such a long time because I want to see them win, right? That's just in my nature. We all love an underdog, right? And it's funny when the underdog, what's that old Batman line? Remember Batman, one of the Batman Dark Knight? I think it was the original Dark Knight, but if you're the hero long enough, you live to become the villain or something along that lines. I totally forgot, but it's kind of funny because we love a good underdog until you become the villain. And it's funny because if you really look at the World Cup with Argentina was a major underdog for a while. Obviously in the 80s, they were great. I know we're going soccer, but I'm just trying to show you Messi, everybody loved him. Everyone was cheering for him. Nowadays, everyone just wanted to see him lose. Kind of sucks, right? Kind of sad. But, some of these teams you just cheer for. The Bills. I've been wanting to see a Bills-Lions Super Bowl like you wouldn't believe. Just because those are two horribly large underdogs historically. And a team like the Lions, who's had so much behind them, who's done so well, but just never quite been good enough in this last era of football. You want to see it. You want to cheer for guys like Dan Campbell. You want to cheer for that backfield. You want to cheer. You do. But again, it has to be done on the field. No matter how much you cheered for Barry Sanders in the 90s, they didn't quite get there. Rough, but what do you do? I really like the Lions, and I am high on this team. Okay. But you have to wait for my final weigh-in to see where I put them this year. Okay. Again, we're all having some fun here talking about these crazy teams, man. And well, we're gonna get to this in just a few minutes from Glenn Ritter. As you can see here, Glenn Ritter and Big Dom, we got a Viking and a Lion going back and forth here. Sound familiar? Like in the NFL season. So having some fun here. And well, there you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Detroit Lions season preview. Awesome job there. Thanks again, Big Dom. We really appreciate you, buddy, for jumping in here and being a part of our group as well on band. So thank you so much for that. All right, guys, time to move it on over now into a different territory. One of the coldest places I think you can ever go. Let's turn that Vikings purple and Skull Vikings, baby. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. So here it comes, man. Minnesota Vikings season preview. Obviously, the guy you've seen down here in the comments several times. We'll be doing our season preview in a few minutes. But as we transition over to the Vikings, okay, moving right along to the Twin Cities, where big conversation centers around the quarterback room and reloading the defense. Kevin O'Connell insists it's a competition. But all eyes are on Kyler Murray to step in. You've already seen this guy right here, Glenn Ritter, talk about his thoughts on this. But you can't help it. You can't help but talk about it. Okay? Again, all eyes are on Kyler Murray to step in, run the offense, and basically jumpstart a massive bounce back year for a superstar wideout in Justin Jefferson alongside JJ McCarthy. I don't even know how to make sense of that. I wrote that sentence a little bit ago because I'm trying to still include JJ in there. But what I see is a young quarterback who hasn't had the best start to his career and a guy that maybe would have been a little bit better had he had actually not gone to Arizona. What do you do? What do you say, right? That's all things we can't change. But a lot of people are saying this is JJ's team. Others are saying this is Kyler Murray now. JJ had his chance. So again, I don't know, but I do know they got a guy by the name of Justin Jefferson who does not want to become a receiver without a ring one day. Okay, one of the greats to not ever get a ring. So on defense, Brian Flores has to figure out an edge rush room. Okay, this is the deal. Okay, he's got to figure out that edge rusher situation. Okay, that lost a massive piece in Jonathan Grenard, and putting heavy pressure on guys like Dallas Turner and Andrew Van Ginkel to lead this young group. And I don't know. Plus, everyone is waiting to see if 38-year-old safety Harrison Smith returns for one final dance. I don't even know that's a thing. I really don't. I've been reading that and hearing rumors and seeing YouTube videos. Maybe you can bring that out, Glenn. I don't know, man. But we'll see. Okay. But I will say, Glenn's saying here, the offense is too complex for Kyler. Ooh, he doesn't study the way he should. McCarthy will be improved over the season. Okay, well, I think he's already taken it over without the introduction. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's toss it over to our very own Glenn Ritter of IE Sports Radio, the host of the End Zone Oracle, which, of course, is our fantasy football show that will be starting here in late August. So really excited for that. And our resident Vikings and overall Minnesota sports fan here on IE Sports Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, doing our official Minnesota Vikings season preview, Glenn Ritter.
Hey, what's up, football fans? Glenn Ritter here. Football Insider, Fantasy Football Insider for IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. As you can see behind me, a bit of a Vikings fan. So here's my preview for the 26-27 football season, Minnesota Vikings. First, got to talk about last year, right? Got to give you a recap. Last year's season wasn't all that great. We went 9-8, and part of it was injuries. There was injuries and inconsistency with the quarterback position. Not a recipe for success, although they did win the last 5 games of the regular season to finish 9-8. Finished above 500. Every team in the NFC North finished above 500, which means it's a pretty solid division. Injuries were a big part of last season. You had Christian Darrisaw recovering from a ACL tear. We had Jonathan Grenard battling a shoulder injury all season, and then J.J. McCarthy had a variety of injuries to miss 7 games. He did start 10 games, went 6-4 in those starts, so not horrible record-wise. Just couldn't really win the games. The team wasn't winning because of him. It was pretty much winning in spite of him. So definitely had some struggles. Had trouble getting the ball to Justin Jefferson, which is problematic, right? Obviously, we need him to be very effective in order to be a good and productive winning organization. In the offseason, made some great moves. Number one, got rid of Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah. Just really didn't know how to draft, and I think the organization is going to be better off without him. Did end up eventually bringing in Nolan Teasley to be the general manager. Going to revamp the front office, which is fantastic. But as personnel-wise, brought in Kyler Murray to help in the quarterback room. Obviously, they were able to get him at a discounted price, a veteran minimum, just because Arizona didn't want him in their building anymore. Former number 1 overall pick, phenomenal athlete. If he is able to play to his potential, huge, right? Big success for the Vikings. If not, and if he has trouble grasping the playbook, which I think he will, then it's going to be J.J. McCarthy's position to win. I think he's got a very good chance of winning the starting quarterback job during training camp this year. He's been in the system now. This is his 3rd year. He knows the system better than Kyler Murray does. During OTAs, Kyler Murray made the comment about not getting enough of the first team reps because he was splitting reps with J.J. McCarthy. That seems problematic to me. He's never been a student of the game when he was in Arizona. He got by on his physical abilities. And I feel like if he tries to do that again in the Kevin O'Connell offense, I think there's going to be some issues there. Other moves in free agency and additions to the team, obviously they added Juwan Jennings to the wide receiver room after losing Jalen Naylor to the Raiders. Love this pick. He's a big receiver that can play anywhere, be a good red zone target to help and move the chains. So big target for whoever the starting quarterback is, whether it's Murray or JJ. In the draft, spent a ton of picks on the defensive side of the ball, which I absolutely love. Adding Caleb Banks, who is a swing or miss, boom or bust kind of player. He's 6'6", 330, going to be playing defensive end / defensive tackle in that 3-4 defense. He can play pretty much up and down the line if he's healthy. Been dealing with some foot injuries his senior year, broke his foot in his bone, broke a bone in his foot, sorry. And then refractured that same foot right before the combine. So when healthy, he's just a beast, and I think that he's going to do well again, provided he's still healthy. He should be ready for training camp here in just a couple of weeks. Also, they added Jake Golday in the 2nd round linebacker out of Cincinnati, who I envision being the replacement to Andrew Van Ginkel, but right now he's going to be battling Eric Wilson for that starting inside linebacker position next to Blake Cashman. Defense in general is going to be phenomenal. Sure, they lost Jonathan Grenard to the Philadelphia Eagles. They traded him for a couple of draft picks. They got Jacob Thomas as a safety to help hopefully soften the blow when Harrison Smith retires, which could be this season, could be next season. Let's see, who else did they bring in? Oh, Max Bredesen. Okay, who wants to talk about a fullback? this guy is like another offensive lineman. He's going to be replacing C.J. Ham, who retired, and I think he's going to be the next. I don't know if it's Kyle Juszczyk or whoever, but he's going to be a big bruising lead blocker for whoever's playing running back. And one of the guys that I think is going to be getting some good playing time this year is going to be Damon Claiborne, 4.37 speed running back in the 40. Super dynamic. I think he's going to start out being an additional kick returner with Miles Price, but could end up spelling Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason in being a three-headed backfield as the season progresses. But we'll see how he can do with his pass blocking. But all in all, I think that this is going to be a really good division. I do expect the Vikings to, again, finish above 500, whether it's 9-8, 10-7, maybe hopefully 11-6 if things fall right. But the big thing that they've got going for them is their defense. The defense is phenomenal. Brian Flores is one of the best defensive play callers in the way he just the way he schemes his defense and runs the defense out of so many different fronts. It really confuses a lot of quarterbacks. So I think he's found the key to beating Caleb Wilson in Chicago, and that's basically just keep Caleb in the pocket, play zone defense behind your front four, and make him throw from the pocket. When he has to throw from the pocket, sure, he's going to make some good plays. He's going to get out of the pocket occasionally, but by and large, he's going to be able to be shut down if you're playing that kind of a defense and playing sound defense in the defensive backfield. I do think Chicago's going to win the division, though. They just have so much talent. Ben Johnson is a phenomenal coach, great offensive mind. But I do think the Vikings are going to finish second in the division. I think they're going to finish ahead of the Green Bay Packers, who are dealing with Micah Parsons coming back from his ACL tear. And then Detroit, again, they're still feeling the losses of losing their two coordinators last offseason. And they haven't replaced those guys with guys that I think are comparable minds offensively and defensively. And also, they're still dealing with injuries, whether it's Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, and then having to release Terrion Arnold just because of his legal issues. It's going to be an ugly season for Detroit again. I feel like they're going to stumble. They're still going to be tough. They're going to be a tough team, but I feel like their injuries are going to get them again, just because of the way that Dan Campbell runs his team. They're going to be beating up on each other during practices, and I just don't know that the way that these guys play, that everybody will be able to last an entire season. So that's my Vikings preview. Make sure you check out 3 and Out every single week. Just check those guys out. They're awesome. Great shows every weekend. And then also Wednesday nights, I'm going to be hosting the End Zone Oracle Fantasy Football Show Wednesday nights, 7 p.m. Central. So check that out. But otherwise, I'm Glenn Ritter, Football Insider for IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Thanks, everybody.
Appreciate you, Glenn. Thank you so much, man. That was a lot of fun and great stuff by him there as well. I love what he says, and that is such a... Well, first things first, let's give him the proper applause, ladies and gentlemen. Glenn Ritter, that was awesome. Great points. To me, this is the hardest division to pick in the entire NFL right now, because I don't know. We'll get into that later on in my final weigh-in, but I will tell you right now, the Vikings have every chance of being really good, but they also have a solid chance of not being so good. And I feel like that's every single team in this division. It's crazy. I'm telling you, this has to be the most unpredictable. Like if somebody actually predicts this right down to the records in first, second, third, and fourth, like that's like lotto winning right there, because this is so hard. The Vikings have every tool, but then again, what's going to happen. And that plays on obviously the biggest factor in every single season, health, and who actually gets it, who doesn't, who starts behind center. I mean, this is huge. So again, great job to our buddy Glenn Ritter there. Make sure you catch End Zone Oracle Wednesdays starting in late August, all season long to December, talking fantasy football. Really excited for that, and just excited again for a great season here on 3 and Out. So with that said, you guys, that will do it for two teams. We have the Lions and the Vikings all finished. When we come back, we're taking a quick break. When we come back, we're heading over to Chicago, the Windy City, and ending way up north in Wisconsin, in one of the most historic places in the NFL. But will they still be top dog this year in this division? We're going to talk all about that coming on up. You are watching 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days, show number 3 of 8. This is NFC North Day, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports. Will be right back talking Bears after this.
Is made from the stadium lights to the stadium shade. The clubhouse crews, the on-field MCs, delicious park food and the summer breeze. Every voice in the game. Catch dirt and diamonds every single week. The California League coverage that you seek with Larry B and Freddie B. IE Sports Radio is the place to go. From the front office grind to the roar of the crowd, we play it loud. The great, the gay, the minor league life. It's all today. Tune in to Dirt and Diamonds every minor league season for the latest in the California League with Larry B and Freddie B on IE Sports Radio. Keep that dirt flying, and we'll see you next pitch.
Welcome back to 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days. Day number 3, NFC North Day, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. That is our baseball show right there. Well, one of our baseball shows. That is the California League baseball show with me and my buddy Freddie B, taking the mic there, having some fun, doing our thing. But I promise, I'm promising everybody there'll be commercials for all of our great shows here across the network on IE Sports Radio. We have our hockey show with a guy coming up in just a few moments here, Adam Karnick, talking about his Bears. Him and Freddie B do an amazing job all throughout the hockey season. Apex Asphalt, Daryl Kinsey Jr. and Christopher Lehman talking all things auto sports Monday evenings throughout the auto sports season, which is basically every single month except for December. Those guys are on 11 months a year. Catch Freddie B and Mike Pat talking all things baseball, professional, minors, and everything in between, college, all that good stuff on the Bullpen Bulletin all throughout baseball season Monday evenings. Also catch our soccer show, Ship Pads and Shenanigans, with Jess and Big Mike on Thursday evenings all throughout the year. They take little breaks here and there, but they're talking constant soccer all year long. They do an amazing job. Volleyball show, man. If you love volleyball, you volleyball heads out there, Teran Rodriguez covering all things volleyball on Set Point Monday evenings here on IE Sports Radio. Does an amazing job there. And if you love basketball, man, Dentarius Locke, Davison Crooks doing an amazing job all throughout basketball season, talking on Fast Break Sunday evenings. And of course, you want to always catch 3 and Out right here on IE Sports Radio all throughout football season, 8 divisions in 8 days. At the end of July, beginning of August, talking every single division like we're doing right now. And then Saturdays all throughout football season, 7 a.m. Pacific time, 10 a.m. Eastern, talking everything. NFL, yes, but everything else too. Major high school football, junior colleges, 3C, 2A, and NJCAA, the NAIA. We're talking division, NCAA Division 3, Division 2, FBS, and FCS. We talk it all, man. So make sure to catch us on Saturdays with these 3 down here, me in the middle, Teran Rodriguez, me, your boy Larry B, and Big Mike. Catch us all season long, starting this Saturday. So excited for that one all the way to Super Bowl Sunday. So we're really excited for that, guys. Keep it pushing, and there's all of our great shows. Plenty more to come, I'm sure, but that's how we do it here at IE Sports Radio. We thank you guys for being a part of that and for tuning in. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you so much. Let's move on with the show and change that color to Bears blue, because we're headed to the Windy City to talk about none other than the Bears. Here it comes, you guys. Bears season preview. Oh, this one's going to be fun. This one's going to be fun. All right, guys. Well, here it comes. Up next, again, like I said, we head up to the defending division champs. The overreaching storyline for the Chicago Bears is simple. Can Caleb Williams take that next elite step into year 3 under Ben Johnson? That's it. That's the question mark. The explosive playmaking peaks were jaw-dropping last year. I wasn't too high on Caleb Williams because obviously, I expected a lot more from him at USC. I am a diehard USC fan. Didn't help, though, that the defense in the years that he was there was atrocious. Is what it is. I was a little hard on him. My bad. He's proven himself to be an NFL player, but how much more could he do? That's the thing. Will it gel? They won a division championship. Can they win a conference? Can they win a bowl? To be seen. But that could be this year. We don't know. Am I going to say they're going to be a Super Bowl champion? No. Am I going to say they're going to win the NFC? Probably not. But are they going to be a contender? I think so. Okay. You'll see what I'm talking about. But the focus now is raising the floor and smoothing out the lulls to enter the MVP discussion, right? I mean, really. Offensively, they're leaning into a heavy 2 tight end set featuring rookie star Colson Loveland, which everybody loved. I thought he was amazing in college, alongside Rome Odunze, which I thought was awesome as well, and Luther Burden III. In the trenches, they're sorting out a left tackle battle after Ozzie Tapia's injury, which sucks. But while Dennis Allen's defense integrates new safeties, Kobe Bryant, yes, that's his name, C-O-B-Y though, and rookie Dylan Thieneman. Okay, while hunting for a consistent pass rusher opposite of Montez Sweat, who he's been solid. I was high on him years ago when he got drafted, and he's been everything. He's proven that. Commander, and now, here, I think he's solid and he's earned his money. So with that said, you guys, we're going to hand things off now over to another one of our very own here at IE Sports Radio, covering all things hockey on Wednesday evenings during hockey season with Freddie, along with Freddie B, the host of the Neutral Zone, and of course, the guy that covers all of our Chicago sports, and especially the Chicago Bears here on IE Sports Radio. We're going to hand things off over to our very own Adam Karnick for our Chicago Bears season preview. Adam, take it away.
Hello, Chicago Bears fans. I am Adam Karnick, Bears insider here on IE Sports Radio, and I am thrilled, excited, and happy to bring you this 2026 Chicago Bears season preview, part of 8 divisions in 8 days. We'll start things off with a recap of last year. Well, 2025, it's harder to have a better first season than the Bears had under new head coach Ben Johnson. That was amazing. An 11-6 record, first playoff appearance since 2020, first division title since 2018, and first playoff win since 2010. Caleb Williams also blossomed under Johnson, setting a new franchise record with 3,942 yards passing and setting a new personal best with 27 touchdown passes. And, of course, those 7 fourth-quarter comebacks were an NFL record, and none were sweeter than the 2 over that team from up north, the Green Bay Packers, including that epic 18-point second-half comeback in the wild card round in what was the biggest win in franchise history. Biggest come-from-behind win. What a game. That exorcised so many demons from that as well. The focus on the offseason, especially in free agency, was to make this team get younger. 33-year-old safety Kevin Byard, he led the league in interceptions a season ago. He's been replaced by 27-year-old safety Kobe Bryant from the defending champion Seattle Seahawks. Linebacker Tremaine Edmonds was released and replaced with 28-year-old Devin Bush, formerly of the Cleveland Browns. Safety Jaquan Brisker and quarterback Nashawn Wright were both allowed to walk in free agency, and leading wide receiver DJ Moore was traded to the Buffalo Bills for a draft pick swap. General manager Ryan Poles, then in the draft, spent the first-round pick on safety Dylan Thieneman out of Oregon. Thieneman absolutely should immediately jump in and be the replacement for Jaquan Brisker at one of the 2 safety spots. He also, in the second round then, took center Logan Jones out of Iowa. And Jones could very well wind up contributing as a rookie, but probably not right away. Overall, the offseason was a mixed bag for the Bears. The defensive line was the Bears' most glaring and obvious need, and that went largely unaddressed other than a 6th-round pick spent on a defensive tackle. 2026 could ultimately end up being a massive year for the Bears. While leading the league in interceptions and takeaways is almost certainly not sustainable, and certainly you can't rely on all those comebacks to happen again. But if Caleb Williams continues to grow and develop in this system, it's not out of the realm of possibility to say that he could be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. Yes, he needs to work on his completion percentage, just 58% a season ago, and that has been brought up ad nauseum by everyone as a problem. Just like he took 68 sacks as a rookie was brought up last offseason. Well, he managed to bring that down to just 24 sacks this past season, and if he can show similar improvement in his completion percentage this year, then 4,000 yards and over 30 touchdown passes should be no problem for the Iceman. And it's not as if he doesn't have the weaponry to make it happen. Colston Loveland and Luther Burden are coming off of tremendous rookie seasons. Rome Odunze, he was a top 10 pick. He needs to show it this season and show the consistency that will make him be a star in this league for a long time to come. And the Bears running back room, the duo of DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai, is more than serviceable. The weaponry is still there. The lines continue to be the wild cards for this team and franchise. The D-line I already brought up. For the offensive line, it got overhauled a year ago very successfully, but unfortunately there are going to be new starters at both left tackle and at center. Ozzie Trapillo, a draft pick from a year ago, of course was injured in that wild card playoff game against Green Bay. He will be out until December at the earliest, and he'll be replaced by Braxton Jones, the returning journeyman who... we'll see what he can do at the spot. Can he be serviceable enough? And at center, Drew Dahlman was one of their prized free agent acquisitions a season ago. He retired this offseason. Along with Logan Jones coming in as a rookie, the Bears traded for Garrett Bradbury, who will ultimately be the placeholder until Jones is ready to go. The NFC North should once again be one of the best divisions in all of football. The Lions are going to be healthier. The Vikings now have Kyler Murray at quarterback. And those Packers just seem to always somehow stay relevant. But once again, the difference maker is going to be Caleb. Unlike Murray, Jared Goff, and Jordan Love, who are all established veterans, Caleb Williams has yet to hit his full potential in the NFL. When that happens, it's not an if in my mind, it is a when, then the Bears will be a thorn in the North's side for years to come, and it will be a beautiful thing. Bear down, let's go.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Karnick. That is, you can't get any more bear than that. Ladies and gentlemen, again, Adam Karnick. I'll tell you, that guy brings it every year. And you know what? For so many years, I've dogged the Bears because they're so good. I'm sorry, they haven't been so good. But last year, they were so good. Definitely proved me wrong and had me thinking a little bit different about these guys now. But it's true. They finally got it together. And they have the team now to do it. They've won the division. Can they do more? We're going to figure that out. We're going to find that out coming on up this season. So, all right, guys, there you have it. The Chicago Bears season preview has been all wrapped up. And, well, it's time to change that color yet one more time for tonight's show. And kaboom, there it is, Packers green. Let's do it, man. It is now time for that Green Bay Packers season preview. And, well, we got Dan coming up right now. He's chilling down below here in the studio, but looking forward to having him on in a few moments, his video. But shifting gears on over, man, finally we head over to Titletown. Some people call it that, some people don't, whatever. I called it that. To round out our team previews. And the Green Bay Packers are navigating a few major health hurdles as they chase the division crown. The biggest defensive storyline is managing the early season absence of Micah Parsons while he rehabs, putting the spotlight on Lucas Van Ness and rookie Danny Dennis Sutton to generate pressure on the edge. I don't want to sound like this broken record throughout my talk of the Packers, but I feel like the entire season is going to really, really depend on that defense. I'm not saying the offense isn't great because the offense can definitely score. I'm looking forward to Matthew Golden, which we'll get into the offense right now. But I will say that defense, you're going to have defense. There's no way. You can't get by in this division with just having this amazing high fly offense, you know, unless you can somehow be the 2006/7 Indianapolis Colts where they just outscore. And trust me, they had a pretty solid defense too, okay? Okay, Robert Mathis and Dwight Freeney and Bob Sanders. Yeah, that was pretty damn good. But I will tell you right now, that's not going to be the case here. You're not going to just outscore everybody, okay? Because you're not playing the Texans, the Titans, and the Jaguars in this division. You're playing a Vikings team who's one or two big moments away, give or take health, and a quarterback issue resolved, or figuring out who it is. You are a Bears team who is wreaking havoc and will continue if you do not slow them down. And you have a Lions team who's already proven how good they really are on all sides of the ball. So you need to have that defense, and that's what's scaring the crap out of me about these Packers. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But offensively, all eyes are on Josh Jacobs. All right, that Josh Jacobs situation and the backfield depth behind him. Well, the receiving core solidifies obviously around Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, and last year's first-round pick, Matthew Golden. So this is a fun division, I'm telling you. But big shout out to our boy, Mr. Teran Rodriguez, jumping on in here. Yeah, I guess we talked about it right now, man. The NFC is going to be war. Yeah, it's going to be tough to predict the champ. Like I said, if like I said earlier in the show, if you can somehow, some way predict this entire division, first through fourth, with the records 100% accurate and get it right, not that you're going to get it, which sucks, but you deserve like lottery money, okay? Like, because that's not easy. This is going to be And I'm talking about like today. Predict it today, okay? Because it's going to be hard. This division is going to offer. You're going to see injuries happen and teams still being good, or injuries not happening, and some teams not playing up to their potential, and then a mix of a little bit in between, and then throw a little bit of this in there and stir it until room temperature. I mean, I'm just saying stupid crap, okay? But what I am saying is this division is going to be nasty. So this is hard, but okay. With that said, y'all, let's go ahead and hand it over to our very own Green Bay Packers diehard. That's actually his name, diehard Dan McCulloch. Great dude, man. And he, of course, like I said, is our one of our NFL insiders and our Green Bay Packers insider here in all sports up in Wisconsin insider. Ladies and gentlemen, to give us our official Green Bay Packers season preview, I give you diehard Dan McCulloch.
The Green Bay Packers, the greatest organization in NFL history. Lombardi Trophy off of Vince Lombardi, the greatest coach in NFL history. And the Packers look to finally grab a Lombardi Trophy since they haven't been there since 2010 when they won against the Steelers. Last season was a little bit of a disappointment. They had a nice lead in the postseason against the Bears and tossed it away. Micah Parsons had an injury, Tucker Kraft injured. Parsons probably won't be back until week 5 or week 6. Last year, I thought there was a lot of good things. There was a lot of potential. They made some moves this offseason in getting rid of Wicks. Dobbs is gone. Watson is going to be their guy. He needs to stay healthy. And also in the offseason, we kind of had a situation with Josh Jacobs as well, who was the workhorse last year. And he's been throughout his whole career basically just a big yards, big carries guy. Gets a lot of yards as well. But Watson, big play Watson, when you saw him in a game last season, he made a difference. He's that deep ball threat every time. A big home run play, wide receiver, but he can also play very well in the short. He is a true number 1 wide receiver, but he's just got to stay healthy. Jordan Love, again, excellent season. He's just very good. LaFleur just has to let him go. You have to let him play, throw the ball. His numbers actually are matching up with Aaron Rodgers through the first couple of seasons of both of their careers as full-time starters. They're, almost identical. If we get Aaron Rodgers type play out of Jordan Love, the defense, while it's improving, really has to be that strong suit, because we saw that with Aaron Rodgers' career where the defense would let up 40 points in the postseason, just kind of failed them time after time again. Going into this season, I expect the division title. I believe that they are better than the Bears. They will remain better than the Bears this season. I think Caleb Williams, while he might actually hit that 4,000-yard passing mark, I think Caleb Williams has weaknesses that teams are going to be able to expose. They're going to be able to see that he excels on the run, and that's a little easier to stop. Especially with film and how defenses are developing and continuing to evolve each and every season. Tucker Kraft, there's been reports that he will be ready week 1. He's going to be ready actually in training camp that starts in a week or so. And he will be ready week 1. That is huge for the offense because he is one of the best tight ends in the NFL. Could be the best tight end in the NFL. Just powers through everyone. He's hard to tackle. He's huge. He catches everything. Just a fantastic player to have on offense. The offensive line, I'm looking forward to really just improve their protection. Run blocking is fine, but pass blocking, they really need to improve that. I'm looking for Aaron Banks to stay healthy. We gave him a lot of money last season, so looking for him to stay healthy. And I'm also looking for the corners and secondary to really cover guys this season on defense. Keyshawn Nixon, he really needs to step it up. He said he wants to be a number 1 when he made that transition from more of a punt returner, kick returner guy to straight corner. He didn't show it last year. There was a lot of boneheaded mistakes, penalties, bad coverage, things like that. So I'm really looking for him to step it up this season. Xavier McKinney, when he signed with the Packers 2 years ago, he had 8 straight games or 7 straight games with an interception. Last year, I think he had only a couple. So I'm looking for him to kind of find a middle ground in between those 2 seasons and really need the kicker position. McManus is gone. So really need the kicker position to get settled. I think the Packers are going to be 12-5 this season, win the NFC North, and make it to the NFC Championship game. I'm not worried about the Lions or the Vikings, and I believe the Packers are better than the Bears, and will show it this season. This is Dan Vahalik, IE Sports Radio, 3 and Out. Stay tuned for more.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Dan Vahalik. Let's go ahead and give him applause, man. That was a great job on that season preview, brother. Dude knows what he's talking about, and my gosh, I love it. I love the back and forth, and it's so hard. I don't want to disappoint any of these guys. They're all 4 great dudes. I hate to put somebody in 4th. I want to put somebody in 3rd. I want to give them all 1st place because I think they can all make it. And this is the craziest thing in the world, but I think all 4 teams can make the playoffs. It's not possible, but I think all 4 teams can actually, if they made the playoffs, all of them could probably make a solid run. Like, you know, I mean, I'm not, I get it. It's not realistic. But what I'm saying is you put any of these 4 teams in the NFC playoffs this year from the wild card all the way up, or even first round bye, they're going to win. Okay. They're going to go somewhere. Okay. They're going to win a game or 2. And I feel that they're just all that good. So you guys, this is just, this has been fun. And the Green Bay Packers, man, this team, they've been great. They've been a solid football team, but they just haven't been able to put it together. Now let's find out. So with that said, you guys, big ups and thank you to all of our great guests today. Big Dom, Glenn Ritter, Adam Karnick, and our boy, Dan McCulloch. So with that, y'all, we're going to take ourselves a quick break. When we get back, you got my final weigh in on what I think. Again, this is all fun. Like I said, we don't know until the games are played, but we'll see my final weigh in and put in the chat room what you guys think, who your 1st through 4th will be in the NFC North. You are watching 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days, day number 3, NFC North Day, right here on IE Sports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this. For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the iSports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop, including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports. You gotta love it, right? You gotta love the head nod action right there. So welcome back to 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days, NFC North Day right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We're just rolling through it, man. And that is going to do it for NFC North Day. Goodbye, everybody. I'm just playing on. See, I'm trying to get out of this because I don't want to have to pick 1 through 4. But here we go, guys. Without further ado, here are my thoughts on the final weigh-in. Oh, this is not going to be easy. This is so not going to be easy. But here we go. Okay. So, again, big thank you and shout out to our awesome guests today. They did an amazing job. we've heard from all of our insiders across the division. And when you look at the landscape of the NFC North right now, the hierarchy has shifted. Let's stack them up from bottom to top, at least from what I think right now, complete with our win ceilings and floors and the deep dive rationale, obviously, behind the numbers. I'm going to put sound effects to this one, okay? I can't help it. Well, actually, first things first, we got to put in our colors, right? We got to put in our color codes as we go. So starting things off, you guys, number 4, and I'm so sorry for this, but again, maybe it'll make sense with my rationale. I got 2 teams that are going to be really, really close to second place, maybe even close to first, but I think they're going to be fighting for third and fourth, just slightly. And that 4th team, that final one, because of a certain little issue, or at least, again, you'll get my rationale. Disagree with me all you want to. That's okay. It's purple. I'm sorry. I know. Look. Minnesota Vikings. But you got to understand my ceiling and floor here. I have the ceiling for this team being like 10 wins and the floor being like 9. Okay, like 8. I know someone has to lose and go lower than that, but still, I think they can win that many games. The Vikings land in the 4th spot, toss up, okay, locked in a brutal battle right now with the Green Bay Packers, which obviously I'm just going to give away my 3rd, okay? But I think it's going to go down to the wire for these 2, and you're going to get my rationale, okay? So here it is. The ceiling here relies entirely on whether Kyler Murray or JJ, okay, can truly unlock this offense and resurrect Justin Jefferson's elite production under Kevin O'Connell. I haven't seen it, guys. I just haven't seen it. We haven't seen it yet. And again, I know people are throwing stuff at the screen. They're, don't like me very much right now. I get it, and I'm sorry, Vikings fans. But look, paired with Brian Flores is dialing up enough pressure, to mask those deficiencies on defense. I don't know, However, the floor is the ceiling and floor are just so hard to predict. Losing Jonathan Grenard leaves a massive void on the edge, and I know Glenn justified. Again, this is all just talks. He justified, and if rookie depth and a young secondary are forced to play too many high-leveled snaps against this division's loaded quarterbacks, the defense could easily get exposed after a grueling 17-game season. Now, am I saying that the Vikings won't? Okay, am I saying that they won't be first place? No. Because the crazy part about it is, if the Vikings, if, and again, these are all ifs, whether it's JJ or Kyler Murray, they really do unlock Justin Jefferson's elite production. And this offense really, really clicks like how I think it is. And this defense is really good. And they're a surpriser, okay? Or, at least a lot better than what some are thinking, including myself right now. Guys, the Vikings could easily challenge for the division. It's that close. The margin from first to fourth is paper thin. This is why I didn't even want to give my predictions, because this is really hard. Because I think this 4th place Vikings team, at least where I'm putting them, could beat the majority of the NFL. Okay, they're really, again, just a couple things got to go right. This isn't like other teams where it's like, yeah, so we know they're not going to be very good, but we can hope. No, these teams are all locked in. This is so hard. So there's my thoughts on that. Okay. 3rd place, I already said it. All right. But again, my rationale, the Green Bay Packers. The ceiling for this team, I think, is the same exact thing. About 10 wins, about 7-8 losses. I'm sorry, 10 wins, about 7-8 is the ceiling, about 10. And then the floor is about 7 or 8 losses. Wins. Sorry. I'm all over the place. I have them between 7 and 10 wins, just like the Vikings. Right alongside Minnesota in that fierce battle for that bottom half, which I hate to even say that, of this crazy division, are the Packers. Green Bay's outlook takes a significant hit heading into the fall due to that health hangover from Micah Parsons. And I know Dan was very keen on the return of, we got, okay, cool. Croft returning, Micah Parsons. I get it. But right now, again, I'm looking at the right now. If that happens, they're right in it. They're like the Vikings. They're going to contend for the division. But is it happening right now? Not yet. So I'm doing it as we are at the moment. So we'll see. Missing that game changer pass rush, that's going to be hard for the opening stretch. And that's going to create a massive void up front, guys. While Matt LaFleur's coaching continues, continues pushing a young, ascending receiving trio of Jaden Reed and Christian Watson and Matthew Golden, that keeps their ceiling respectable. Early season defensive turbulence and lingering backfield uncertainty behind Josh Jacobs could easily drag their floor down in a defensive, in this division. Okay? Because it's a very physical division. I almost hate to say this, but at least the offense is certain. I think this is fair, guys. I think this is fair. At least the offense is certain. We know what we're going to get with the Packers offense. The Packers defense scares the crap out of me right now because of the injuries and everything. But at least we know what we're going to get with the offense. That's why I have them slightly. Like if it was 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 4, 3, 2, 1. I mean, they're literally, this is it. This is the margin, 1 through 4. Some divisions are like this, the whole dang screen, okay? But this is just the margin is so small. If this was a race, they'd all cross the finish line. I mean, it would just be super close. And I think that's exactly what it is. But if I'm going to give a little nose to the Packers, it's because the offense is figured out. Defense scares me, but the Vikings offense is kind of what's scaring me right now. I don't know what's going on. The defense is solid, but at the same exact time, not solid enough. Again, some things got to go right on offense and defense for the Vikings to be good, or to overtake from down here to like up here somewhere. And guess what? For the Packers, I'm not worried for the offense. Like I said, so I believe that small little margin for the Packers, it's just because their offense is a little further along than the Vikings. The defense still scares the crap out of me. And if that defense completely falls apart, they're going to fall in the toilet, okay? Because if that defense can't keep anybody off the field, I'm sorry, if that defense can't stay off the field, and keeps that offense on the field for the Packers are screwed. Like, they are going to fall deep because now they're going to wear the living crap out of that offense. And it's just not going to be pretty. And the Vikings will definitely overtake. But that's where I got these two. And I know it's hard because I'm telling you, all 4 of these teams could make a run if you put them individually in the playoffs. Okay. They're amazing. All these teams are good, but the margin's thin. Okay. Here comes second place. And boy, this is hard. It's not super hard to look to understand it and see it now, or at least, from my perspective, again, get where I'm looking at. But if you look at it at least through this kind of lens, you'll be like, yeah, maybe I don't agree with you, Larry B, but I can kind of get it. I get where you're coming from. Number 2, you said it, you thought it, the Detroit Lions. Okay. Obviously, which puts the Bears out front, but even I have things to say about them. Okay. But you'll see. The ceiling for the Lions, I have them at about 11 wins. It's possible. Floor, about 8 wins. Oh, what happened there? Because the Lions are pretty much in the same boat. Stepping into the true second place spot, I would say, are the Lions. But while there are certainly legitimate question marks especially with a completely retooled offensive line, breaking in starters, as we talked about, like Penei Sewell at left tackle now and Blake Miller now on the edge. The sheer firepower on this roster is undeniable. Okay. Jahmyr Gibbs stepping into a full bell cow role, as I said earlier, gives them an elite engine that can single-handedly take over games and push them toward an 11-ish win ceiling. Okay. I'll say 11. I'm not going to stick with a number. But their floor rests around 8 or 9, maybe, heavily dependent on how quickly their secondary really just pieces recovery and gel around those injury questions in the defensive backfield. Okay. And that's hard. That's hard. Because again, the Lions, they have such a good foot. They have a great team. I'm not too worried about this defense, even though they do have some question marks there. I think that they definitely have a strong enough defense to win the division. And the offense is looking really good. They definitely have that part there. But again, injuries happen. This offensive line thing doesn't necessarily, and really it's the offensive line that I'm most worried about, because if you can open up the floodgates, these guys are moving, and they're going to be professionally moving people. All right, and they're going to make some things happen. But if that doesn't happen, and the Packers figure it out, and the Packers get healthy, the Vikings figure it out. Now the Lions, if the offensive line isn't as good as they should be, now they're in a little bit of trouble. And you can easily see these guys dropping all the way to 4th place. Because again, all it takes is a few. I mean, the margin, again, I keep on saying, I'm going to keep on repeating it. It's paper thin. So, okay, maybe not paper thin, but like notebook thin, like they're all in here, right? So that's where I'm at with these guys. And then obviously, number one, and I know my boy Adam Karnick has been waiting for me to say this for a long time. Obviously, the Chicago Bears. And look, again, you'll get what I say right now about this team, but the defending champs, I believe, comfortably hold down the number 1 spot, at least at the moment. And that's fully deserved, okay? The ceiling, I think, hits about 13 wins. If Caleb Williams makes that anticipated year 3 MVP leap, he's still got to get better. He did great last year, but he has been improving every year he's been in the league. Keep it going. Don't go in reverse. Keep going. Stay in drive. And don't turn around. That's it. So pairing those jaw-dropping athletic peaks with consistent rhythm pocket passing, because you already heard, especially Dan talking about Caleb Williams or Glenn, I think, how he said he just relies on ability. And he's an athletic freak. But guess what? There's athletic freaks on the other side of the ball in the NFL. So it's true. He's not going to be able to rely on that. He's got to get better at the things that you need to get better at as a quarterback. That's all there is to it. It's kind of funny. Isn't it crazy how it doesn't reverse? You can be an athletic freak all you want to, but you're going to end up hurt. You're going to end up figured out and probably hurt. Look at somebody like Tom Brady. Tom Brady didn't need to be an athletic freak. His 40 time was like molasses. Bro's got 7 rings. He does not give a crap. And you know what? He's in the argument for the greatest quarterback of all time. Not because he was this athletic freak, but it's because, number one thing, he didn't get hit very often because his offensive line was always a bunch of goons. All right. And what happens? He's precision pocket passer. Ran when he needed to. Not very fast. But you know what? Look what happens. Hits his targets in good rhythm and sync with his targets. His offensive line does the rest. They also do the rest for the run game to give him a good balance. Opens up play action. And there you go. So Caleb Williams still he can have all the ability he wants to and be another running back on the field. but he cannot rely on that. And I think he knows it. Everyone knows that, okay? Unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. Going back to Fran Tarkenton, okay, to those scrambling type quarterbacks, Warren Moon, Cunningham, Vic, McNabb, even a little bit of Rogers here and there, who's not afraid to take off. That's great. Don't be afraid to take off. It's football. Man up. But don't let that be your number one, because you are going to get smacked. And if you can't do anything else but run around, it's going to be a hard career for you, buddy. So I think Caleb Williams knows that, and that's why he's getting better every year. He's focusing on the things that he needs to get better at. And my gosh, he keeps on getting better and still has that ability. That's disgusting. And that's exactly what the Bears want to see. So look, even with minor training camp questions to monitor at left tackle and corner depth, paired with dynamic playmakers like Roma Dunze and Luther Burden III and rookie tight end Colston Loveland, like we talked about, this has mastered. I don't know. This has mastered the exact formula. I believe. I really do believe they have mastered that formula that's required to grind out a tight physical football season. Okay, in these crazy games that are played nowadays where they're super close and full of athletic freaks. But this is going to be a black and blue NFC North, the coldest division in the NFL, and it's going to be the hardest hitting. I always like to call the AFC North the hardest hitting because it is. But I think this year is going to be the hardest hitting and the coldest, because this is going to be a really crazy division. So I have the Bears having a ceiling of about 11 wins and a floor of about 10 wins. Now, if Caleb Williams is not what we think, and he does go backwards, number one thing, goodbye. That's it. It'll go like that. Again, let the Vikings offense figure it out and let their defense figure it out. That could be first place. Just like that. If the Detroit Lions offensive line isn't the greatest and their defense starts falling apart, and if the Packers just can't get healthy on defense, yeah, Vikings can win easy. See, I mean, again, it's just such a small error, a small little thing, okay, a small margin. Let the Packers figure it out and their defense be nasty. And the offense is already good. So let the Bears start falling apart and the Lions being lackluster and the Vikings not figure it out. There's your winner right there, Packers all day. And I've been picking them to win the division for years. On top of that, let the Lions just do what we think they're going to do and play it up to their ability. Let the Bears slip. That's it. Lions division all day long. But let Caleb Williams keep on getting better, and the Bears do what we think they can do. This is their division. So again, guys, this has just been it's such a hard one. This is a extremely hard division. Division to pick. But there you have it. So with that said, man, that is going to do it for me today, man. That was a fun one. Thank you so much for sticking around and talking some NFC North with me today, you guys, jumping in the chat. We appreciate you guys all so very much. And there you have it. So with that said, we are now done with 3 divisions. We have 5 more to go. 1 more in the NFC tomorrow. Hopefully we can get ourselves a Saints and a Bucks fan. I think we got our very own Dontarius Locke jumping on in. And I think he'll be doing the Bucks for us. We'll see if we can find ourselves a Saints fan for tomorrow. But regardless, tomorrow, fan or not, we're going to take care of that division. And that's it. I'm going to do 1 more division there, do our premiere on Saturday of 3 and Out on Saturdays. And then Sunday through Wednesday next week, take care of the AFC. Hall of Fame game is next Thursday. That's it, you guys. So with that said, we got 12 teams down, 20 to go. And that is that. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in again. This has been 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days. NFC North Day, 3rd day in, 5 more to go, right here on IE Sports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. I will see you guys tomorrow to finish off the NFC with the NFC South. Until then, take care, and as always, God bless. Peace. IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days.
Talk